Gals, and today I have another What's Your Why Not for you. Today's is one in probably several of ways to find your why not. If you kind of feel like you're floundering, if you feel like you lack direction, if you aren't sure what it is that you want to do, if that makes any sense. I feel like I should always put a disclaimer on my videos like this may only make sense to me. But I know I went through a long time ago. This was literally half my lifetime ago. So my late teens, early 20s, that I just really floundered. I didn't have any direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was going to school and nothing I was doing at school felt right to me. And I really struggled with that for a long time. And I think one of the biggest things in finding your why not is letting go of the idea that there's one thing, there's one huge life-altering thing that you're supposed to be doing, and you're not doing it, so you're failing, or that you're wasting time, or that you're not using your life productively. At least for me, I get into this, not so much anymore, but I would really get into this funk of what am I supposed to be doing with my life? Very existential, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that if it motivates you. But if that line of thinking does for you what it does to me, at least, it slows you down and it holds you back. So I had to let go of the idea that I have one life's purpose. I'm going to turn the sound off on the phone real quick, because for most people, you're going to have more than one why not. If you have one, if you know darn well you have one thing that you are supposed to be doing with your life, then that's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. I can only speak from my own experience, and that is that learning to let go of the idea that there was one huge purpose that I was supposed to have was so freeing for me. That's not to say I'm, exonerated from being productive and being, participatory in my own life. It's just to say that it's putting everything into one big, I have to find out what my big life purpose is. For me personally, that just stops me. That stops me right in my tracks. That hits me with so much overwhelm that I just stop. So one thing you can do or try to do in trying to figure out maybe what one of your why nots is let go of the idea that there's one. There may be several things that you're interested in doing and want to pursue, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So that's one thing you can do, is let go of that idea of one big, huge purpose thing. Second thing you can do is look at what interests you. What things or topics are you mentally attracted to? What kind of books do you read? What kind of magazines do you read? What kind of podcasts do you listen to? What kind of channels do you watch on YouTube? What kind of documentaries do you watch? How do you like to spend your time? What things do you think about that excite you? And when you talk about those things with other people, whether they're people who have a shared interest in that same thing or not, what topics or subjects or occurrences or anything like that makes you light up, makes you feel that, man, I love talking about this, or, oh, this really holds my interest, or I want to know more about that. As someone I know once very profoundly said, what lights a fire under your butt? What makes you want to push to know more about it? I'm going to forewarn you guys, Liam's coming this way if it gets noisy. Make a list. Sit down with just a big blank piece of paper. There he is. Hi, baby. Hi. Do you see yourself? I'll be right back, guys. Okay, Liam wanted to say hi really quickly. Say hi. Are you a bobblehead? Don't hit. We don't hit. We're gentle. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, let's see if I can not lose my train of thought. He's having a snack, so we have limited time. So of all those things that interest you, what do you put in your brain? What do you like to see other people doing? What looks interesting to you? Like I said, what do you read? What do you watch? What do you listen to? What topics make you light up? And take those things. And the third thing kind of goes back to the first thing. While there most likely isn't one huge overarching why not, while you may have several why nots, if you're anything like me, and again, this is just me, you may think yourself into like a mental malaise. Oh man, am I guilty of this? I don't know if I'll ever be able to shake that one, you guys. I really am making a concerted effort to do less thinking and more doing. Because when I started figuring out, when I kind of got out of that period of my life where I was finding a little bit of direction and finding that I enjoyed writing, I enjoyed having a blog, I enjoyed the interaction with other people, I pursued so many different things at once that it just started to feel overwhelming again. And I was trying to get away from that feeling of overwhelm. So if you aren't sure, if you feel like, well, I really enjoy this and I want to do that, and oh, but I really, really enjoy this too and I really want to do that, that's all fine and good. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are trying to pick one why not to start, to focus on, then pick the one thing that kind of lights that fire under your butt the most, and take a week or 2 weeks or however long you think and do a little digging. That's the one thing about living when we live, you guys, is we have the internet. Do a little digging online. Find maybe a free online class that is about that subject that you're interested in, and see if getting into it further and deeper is something that makes you feel that excited feeling. If you pick one thing and focus on it and you're finding, oh, I signed up for this free online class, I'm really interested in this subject, but the more we get into it, this isn't for me, I don't like it. Well, if it's just the format of the class that isn't for you, that's one thing. But maybe that's a topic that you're interested in at a kind of a surface level, which is fine. But maybe it's not something you're finding that you want to pursue. I went through that. I went through that in college. I was sure I knew what I wanted to do. And, the more I got into it, I just hated it, to be really honest. And that was where all that thinking myself into a funk came in. I felt like I had these predefined things that I was supposed to be doing. And when I realized that this one big thing wasn't my thing, and I let that go, that left my brain free to think about other things and to find the things that I am wired to do. So don't do so much thinking that you don't do some doing, Like I said, you may not have one big why not, but if you have several and you have so many that it makes you feel frenetic and you're not getting anywhere with any of them, just try for a week to pick one. Pick one, do some digging, pursue it. Get into some groups online that are about that one thing and see if you enjoy it. Connect with people that way. Do some online research, do some reading about it. If there's anything on YouTube that you can watch, if there's podcasts that you can listen to, turn on the speaker while you're driving, or, put the earbuds in while you're doing laundry, or, and start to kind of fill your brain up about that one subject. I don't want to be confusing and say that, and that's your one why not. You probably don't have one why not. Most people don't have one big, huge, overarching life purpose. Most of us have several. But for a week, if you find that there are so many interests that you're not able to focus on one and hone in on one, just for a week, try picking one and do more with it rather than just thinking about all of them. I hope I didn't just make anybody motion sick by doing that. I didn't realize what that would look like. Just hone in on one for like a week or 2 weeks. And you know what? If it ends up just completely not being your thing, it's okay to let it go. It's okay to maintain a surface interest in something and dig a little deeper with something else next week. But doing it is the big key there. Alrighty, so those are my big 3 tips for this week for kind of finding and honing in on one why not for yourself. So, let go of the idea that there is only one thing. There might only be one thing. For you, there might only be one thing. But if you're not sure what that one thing is, then let go of that idea for now and be open to the idea that there may be more than one thing, because that can bring a lot of overwhelm onto yourself. So that's the first one. The second one is think about your interests. Think about things that you want to see changed. What is wrong with the world around you that you can bring some positive into? Okay? What interests you? What lights fire under your butt? What makes you light up when you talk about it? What have you watched or listened to or read that really stuck with you after you were done watching it or listening to it or reading it? And just kind of keep a running list of those things that really kind of make you stop and think, or kind of make you glow and get happy when you talk about them. And the third thing is less thinking and more doing. So, get out there online, do some research, do some digging, find people with a similar interest, pick their brains, start to fill up your brain with that, with more information about that one thing that you're choosing to focus on maybe this week. Because that'll slowly but surely help you kind of weed out the things that, okay, I'm interested in this, I find this fascinating, but is this truly something that I could put my valuable time into pursuing and enjoy it? And that'll help you start to weed out those multiple why nots and get narrowed down to the ones that really matter to you. Okay? You guys have a fantastic week. Let me know. Let me know what you come up with. If you make a list of stuff you're interested in, leave a comment on the blog, leave a comment here on YouTube, post it on, Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and show everybody, because you might find that there are other people out there with the same interest as yours. And that's been one of the biggest things for me to pursue my why nots has been, I'm an introvert. I really am an introvert. You wouldn't think it as much as I jab around on the videos, but I'm truly an introverted person at heart. And being able to get online and talk with people and have those conversations and expand my thinking a little bit, especially considering our schedule here, me getting out and doing that locally is not always possible, but to be able to do it when it's convenient here and there is great. So get out there and see what's out there, and show us, you guys, show us, and maybe we can, people with similar interests, you guys can have chats, okay? I will talk to you next week. You guys have a fantastic upcoming weekend, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.